While there was a lot of disagreement during tonight's debate, the candidates also found quite a bit of common ground.
All right, lots to break down from the 90-minute exchange. KCCI's chief political reporter Amanda Rooker is here with us tonight. She's joined by Republican strategist David Oman and Democrat and former Iowa Attorney General, Democrat Tom Miller. Amanda?
Tom, David, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Like they mentioned, there was a lot of ground covered in tonight's debate, maybe a little refreshingly civil tonight. I want to get your takes on what we heard. David, let's start with you. What stood out to you from tonight's debate?
Well, first, glad to be here. Thank you. It's been said for a long time that debates don't really matter, don't move the needle. I think this year has been different. Biden froze in June and hurt himself, left the race. Harris rebalanced it in September. Tonight was a real slugfest, but was done in a very civil way. I think it was the best debate so far. Vance made a very strong case about the fact that the vice president's been pinned to Joe Biden for 3.5 years, and it's pretty hard for her to run away from that record, which leaves a lot of people disappointed. I think Walz probably did maybe a little better job relating to the average viewer and voter at home on some of his issues, particularly in reproductive rights. Good discussion about the Middle East. We're at a crisis point right now that we haven't seen since 1948. I thought a very good back and forth on gun violence, and actually some middle ground was talked about, that they were both reinforcing some of the points each other made. We haven't seen that very much this year. Border policies, immigration were big, still a big difference on that, both trying to explain why they think their policy is the best. I think the two helped themselves. Vance and Walz probably made their presidential candidates very proud of their work. In Iowa, I don't know that this has made a great deal of difference. It's a 4 or 5 point race now. We'll see what the polls tell us after tonight.
Tom, I want to get your take as well. What stood out to you? How did you feel watching tonight's performance?
Well, some of what David said, that it was much more civil than we've seen in the past. Indeed, since 2016, there's just been this enormous hostility at the presidential debates. That wasn't here tonight. They agreed on some things. JD called him Tim a couple of times. That was really important, and also it was much more substantive than recent debates. I think they covered a lot of issues. I thought that Tim Walz did especially well when he got energized. He got off to a little bit of a slow start, which was understandable, but then on 4 or 5 or 6 answers like climate change and immigration, and especially January 6th, he got totally energized. And when he did that, I think he was enormously believable. People could really tell that he really believed this and felt that's why the emotion was being shown. I thought Vance he's very smart. He's a great debater. He may have probably won on the debate points, but I think Walz won on the credibility and relationship points.
Well, this was really their first opportunity to really introduce themselves to American voters. David, to your point about this potentially moving the needle, I want to talk to you both more about how this potentially moved the needle, how this could impact what's expected to be a very close race. We'll bring you back in just a few minutes to talk about that. We'll send it back to you in the studio. Stacey.